This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, a very good afternoon to everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on our Sunset Safari on this beautiful Saturday, Saturday. We're coming here from the northern Sabi Sands. It's not really a beautiful day. It is starting to drizzle quite a bit at the moment, but anyway, my name is Cedric, and behind the camera we've got Bibo, and I'm going to go show you a beautiful highlight from the other day when we had a beautiful leopardess known as a Sabui and her youngster. Let's go and take a look. Okay, the sun is coming now to her. Now watch this. Let's see, watch. He's going to stalk Mom. Maybe he's going to come and jump up into the tree. Come and join Mom there. He's like, Mom, but that looks so much more comfortable. I'm going to jump. And I'm going to come and join you. There we go. Look at that. Oh, that was a bit of a tumble. Yeah, Mom dominated him there. It's like, yeah, you are going to fall out of the tree. That is absolutely amazing. What a sighting. Well, what a fantastic highlight that was of that leopardess and her youngster. But yeah, as you can see, I'm not the only one out and about this afternoon. We've got Eric in Mabula, and we've got in the Mara, we've got David. And well, Sean is in Sandringham, but they're not out and about at the moment. I think it's also starting to rain that side. Exactly what's happening pretty much behind me. It's also quite a bit of a drizzle that's coming through now. But other than that, good to be back out on drive again. I am going to be trying to look for, I've got actually leopard tracks here in the Mulawati drainage line heading into this direction towards a place called Treehouse Pan. And so I'm going to follow up a little bit here to see if we're going to get lucky with this leopard. But it seems like it might have been from during the day sometime. But yeah, I'm going to go look for that. Alright, so while we're going to do that, Biba and myself going to get going. I think let's go over to Eric in Mabula as he wants to say good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon everybody, and welcome. My name is Eric, joined by Luyanda, who is behind the camera, and we are here in a very, very windy Mabula private game reserve, and we're sitting at the Ngulubi Dam, where we are watching what is unfolding down here at the water, along the water's edge. As you can see, it is very ripply. A little bit like Amakala here with the way that the wind is blowing, but this is obviously just the front coming in. It is supposed to give us a little bit of rain. I know that it's already raining there at Sandringham at the moment, but our rain is only supposed to arrive tomorrow. But you can see the dark clouds, so we're hoping it doesn't arrive today. It would be nice if it didn't. Sort of just taking in the environment here. Usually we can see the hippos from this particular area, but at the very end of the dam. But unfortunately, they are nowhere to be seen, and understandably, I think this wind is a little bit too much for them. But yeah, our plans for this afternoon is to head over to the mountains, to the other side of the mountain, shall I say, and see if we cannot relocate on those elephants. We haven't actually seen elephants this entire week, although we have seen signs of them, so that is our plan. But in the meantime, we are gazing upon what looks to be a sleeping crocodile. It's a pretty big crocodile, pretty wide. It looks like the female We've spoken about her many a times. The male and female crocodile in this dam are big. They are big crocs, and yeah, definitely she's big enough to potentially take down a female kudu, or yeah, basically rip a female kudu from the side of the dam into the water, and that's how they basically kill the animals and end up drowning them. So it's not a case of suffocation, it's a case of drowning the animal, and then sometimes leaving it for a while to float in the water, or bury it under the water so that they can basically break down, and then they'll start ripping pieces off of it when it's a little bit softer, obviously, because they don't have the legs to be able to push it away. But David, happy Saturday to you too. We hope that you are enjoying it so far. It would be nice maybe if we could find some cats, but I suppose who knows, we might stumble across one on our search for the elephants. Yeah. Anything is possible out here in the bush, and no, we look forward to it. It's nice that the sun is shining a little bit now, because it wasn't when we made our way out into the bush, but it seems like it's with us. Animal lover indeed. Elephants, I think, are a fantastic plan, and something that I really hope we can see. I'm still yet to see the new boys that arrived beginning of the year out in the wild. Obviously, I was there for the release and for the capture of them, but I have not seen them since we've released them. They've been rather skittish. Well, not skittish, been rather elusive, shall I say, as the rest of the herd is also pretty elusive. But who knows? It might all change today. I've heard that they have been hanging out with each other, all 10 of them, or 9 of them or so, which is good to hear. Dylan, you say you're hoping for some lion cubs as well? I suppose. Well, I guess we shall see. I know that there were people across that side this morning looking for the lions and the lion cubs, but there were only the male lions that were seen. I think one of the females was briefly seen, but she was seen with the big males. So no cubs seen today, but we will eventually see them. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, let us leave this dam and continue on, see what it is that we can find along the way. Maybe at the next dam there's something there. But we're going to send you over to David and some zebra.
Good luck, Eric. And I would suggest maybe it's a brilliant idea to start with maybe the Ellis, and I would imagine we could be sharing the same weather down there. And up here in East Africa, being warm, and we all know when it's pretty hot like this, the cats may choose first to take cover, take some shade over the trees or bushes before showing up. And especially the pride that you're talking about there in Mabula that got some cubs. That will not be the case with zebras. Zebras, you will see them 24/7, doesn't matter what time of the day or the kind of weather you have. And the zebras are just walking through the burnt area, and they are headed towards the Mara River. And and Fiona, I would want to agree with you that possibly today will be a good day for crossing. Fiona, many thanks to hear your name. So keep your fingers crossed, your toes crossed, Fiona. And again, who knows? Now, the zebras, as I said earlier, they are all headed towards the Mara River. My plans were different. Earlier, we wanted to head to the Paradise Republic because I got a friend of mine who gave me some intel that the R5, the Rungai 5 boys, had murdered a buffalo this morning. And towards there, Shiv looks at those buffaloes and tells me, what do you think? I mean, zebras, not buffaloes. What do you think? And we're like, okay, we had to change the plans very quickly. And my big plan today, Fiona, and to all of you wonderful viewers, is to stick around the Mara River and chance for a crossing. Now, Shiv, I don't want to ambush you, but if you just go to the left here, I mean, I've always enjoyed to see zebras walking in a single file. Isn't that beautiful? Destination, Mara River. I wouldn't know what could be going on through in their minds, because I'm sure some have done it before. I'm trying to imagine some can remember some of their colleagues never made it. They were brought down either by crocs or lions, and they're like, that was last year. We are into it again. Hopefully we are going to survive. I mean, the migration is a cycle that goes in general clockwise-ish, and all around the year, more or less the same time. Could be 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks this way or that way, but I'm sure these animals can just remember just so well what migration is all about. Happening between the Serengeti National Park in Tanzania and the Masai Mara National Reserve in Kenya. This has been going on time immemorial. Charlie, you'll be surprised. I mean, we do a drive like the other day with Charlie, not sure, what day was it? Is it 3 days ago? I think it was 3 days ago, and Charlie, we were there with Shiv, and we had about 5 of them came so close, got to the river, sniffed the water, hooves in the water, and then they came out. And then later on in the night, it was about 6:30 going 7 o'clock, some crossed. Yesterday, I was told 100 of them, about 100 of them, crossed in the middle of the day. Charlie is always a big gamble. You do not know when they will cross and at what point they're going to cross, but vaguely Charlie will always have particular crossing points that we know they love to use, and patience here is always the key word. Go there, sit, wait, and you're never in a rush. If they cross, they do. If they don't, you'll always say, there's another day. There's another drive. There's another time. It's a very warm afternoon here in the Mara. As you can see, the shimmering going on. And it was humid earlier on. And something tells me, if not now, we might get some rains later in the day. But hopefully by then, we shall have arrived at the Mara River, taking our nice position, and then, as I told Fiona, crossing fingers and our toes to chance on a crossing. We've been there almost every 2 days. Nadia, patience pants, that's all what we need. If Nadia, you got a hat, a patience hat, please put it on, and a blouse, a top, shoes that are all written patient. Nadia, let's see how things will work out. Again, I mean, we have learned this, we have seen this happening many years. We'll always be there, sit, have a lot of water with us. We'll always carry some juice, not mama's drink, Nadia, and we are always hydrated until we're like, well, we tried, it's time to go back home, and we'll come back to the same position the day after. Luckily, we've got so many friends we work with, and they'll be at different crossing points, and if the crossing points are not far from where we are, we'll always do what we can to get or to access them and hopefully see a crossing. These are the common zebra or the bar charles, and the crossing of the Mara River made the Mara to be one of the 7th wonders of the world. I think that was classified by UNESCO, I'm thinking. Roy, some 5 years ago, I was in Tanzania in a place called Gurumeti. I saw a crossing of 1 hour, 15 minutes non-stop. 1 hour, 15 minutes, Roy, of wildebeest non-stop. It got us there in the darkness, and we were in a private conservancy, the area we were in, so we could afford to stay there as late as we were. We had some infrared, and we left there about 8 o'clock. We had so much, not myself, the guests had so much drinks to take, and we did not have any dinner. We were full of joy, they were very happy, and we straight went to bed. Nobody went to the mess tent for dinner. It was one of my best crossings when you have 1 hour, 15 minutes of daylight, darkness calm, and even, Roy, when we left, they were still crossing. So again, sometimes it's a question of luck. We could get to the river maybe from where we are, it could be another 20 minutes, give or take. We get to the river, and shortly after, they start crossing. The times you get to the river, you wait for half an hour, 1 hour, then they cross. 2 hours, then they cross. Sometimes 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and they don't. Are you excited, Shiv?
Very.
Do you want us to make that direction move?
Let's go.
So, Shiv tells me it's time we head to the Mara River, find out what is happening. Let's find out if Eric is winning with looking or searching for Ellis.
Well, we are pretty much halfway to the spot where the elephants were last seen this morning. So we're going to go back to where they were seen and then try and see if we can track them along the way. But if we can get a general idea as to which direction they were going, we'll go and search in that area. So these elephants are creatures of habit, especially here in Mabula. You know, they come the side of the mountain, but when they come the side of the mountain, they don't stick around here for long. Which was also quite interesting. You know, the other day they were seen quite far to the east, in fact, along the open plains around Rainmeter, where we see the aardwolf and a lot of the aardwolf, a lot of the buffalo occasionally, and it seems that they had kind of made their way around and then decided to come back across. And then they crossed over literally somewhere just in front here. But they were seen there in the afternoon, and then in the evening they had already kind of made their way back into the mountains. So we are going to basically see, maybe they're wanting a bit of water. There's a little water hole close to where they were. That's a very good question. I think the first time I fell in love with elephants it must have been maybe about 2017, 2016, and it was a mixture of visiting Amakhala, because I was still in school, visiting Amakhala as well as going to Addo Elephant Park and spending time with those elephants. And I think the one encounter that really sticks with me was an encounter with Aletisha, so one of the matriarchs in Amakhala, and I was sitting at the back of a vehicle with one of the guides. I would have been sitting in the front seat, but there was a lady who was on crutches, and so I gave that spot up for her so that it was a little bit easier for her to get in and out of the car. So I sat at the back with some of the guests, which was pretty cool, we were driving on one of the roads somewhere in the basin, and the elephant herd were there, and they were all crossing in front of us, and everything was all cool, and everything was calm. And Letitia basically turned very quickly when she was right and like alongside the car, and she came pretty much all the way to like basically maybe 2 meters away from the car, or let's say she was a trunk length away. And the reason why I say trunk length, because she lifted her trunk and she basically was waving it in front of us. I was sitting on the left hand side at the very back, and there was someone sitting in front of me, and her trunk was basically in this person's face the entire time for about maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And she's just smelling and just smelling, and she drops her trunk and then she walks away, and then she turned around very quickly, and you could feel the whole car kind of shift all the way to the right. Obviously the guide at the time was like, everybody stay calm, relax, no sudden movements. And eventually she lifted the trunk up again, and then she walked away and kind of followed the rest of the herd into the thicket. But that was a sighting, I think one of the first sightings where I've kind of felt my heartbeat in my throat. It was exhilarating, shall I say. But then we've also had many encounters like that in Addo. And Addo, the elephants, they just walk straight past the cars. They don't even care about, most of the time they don't care about the cars. You can have an elephant walk right past here, go in front of you, and then go and play in the water. And something special about seeing so many elephants in one little waterhole. I mean, it's not really a little waterhole, but they make it look little. All playing in mud, and these elephants behaving like absolute puppies. So I think that's very, very special. But we're gonna send you to view an encounter I had here in Mabula, which is very similar to that of which I had with Letitia. And they were coming down this way. It's time. No ways. Are you planning on walking on this path? Hello. How are you? Sheesh. Madness. How special was that? Oh, why are you lifting your tail? That is a big elephant indeed. That's a that's a big bum too. Look at that Maximus gluteus. Are you guys going to the waterhole? Where do you be going? Special. That was very, very, very special. Now, believe it or not, when we had that encounter, that's when I knew that me and these elephants are going to be just fine. We're going to get along perfectly well. It looks like a bit of a scary encounter, but at the time, the way that that big male was walking towards us, I mean, it looked like he was going to walk straight into the bonnet. But he did show those signs that he's kind of walking, but he's not walking with intent. So I don't actually need to move just yet. And then he just deviated off that path very quickly. But when he got alongside here, I think when he heard me talking to him, that's when there was a little bit of agitation, but it wasn't too much, He lifted his tail as if to go, I am here, trying to make myself a little bit bigger. He didn't open his ears, which is also one of those signs where you need to pay attention to. They open those ears wide. That's when they become a little bit scary. JD, very good question. Between Mabula and Namakala, which is the best area suited for elephants? It varies, I think. It varies. A green Mabula is the perfect environment for elephants. And then again, also green Amakala is also a perfect area for elephants. But Amakala, as it stands right now, You know, whether the grass is dead or not, there's just so much water around for them. There's lots of speckboom, there's lots of sweet thorn. So I'd have to say Amakala at the moment is probably the best place for elephants. You know, in the summertime, elephants love to do a bit of swimming. You know, we call these the pool parties. And with the Bushman's River flowing in full flow at the moment, it makes it so good for those elephants at the moment. All the water holes are full to the point where, you know, some of these elephants can swim in the water holes and they won't even be able to stand. I mean, one of them is Löwenbusch Pan. Then there's another one on well, it's actually not a pan anymore. We used to call it Round Pools, but Round Pools is actually part of the river. There's another one. It's on a new section of reserve. I think it's called Quachas Drift. No, it's not. I'm not actually sure. It will come to me. But that is probably arguably one of the deepest dams or deepest little water holes that Amakala has. Even before all of the rain, it was still pretty deep. The elephants would go in there and some of them would just disappear. When I say some of them, I mean the adults. Adults would just disappear. So, you know, Amakala is definitely suited, but that's not to say that Mabula isn't. There's still lots of plants here that these Mabula elephants can eat. Deborah, I think it's mostly just, it's part of their personality. Elephants have that personality where they're very curious. They're very curious animals. They are often thinking about all sorts of things along the way. They have that personality where you know, they want to be dominant over everything. So when they chase away, and they literally chase away every single animal that's in the same area as them. When you see elephants approaching a herd of impala, you see those impala run away. When you see elephants approaching a herd of buffalo, you see those buffalo run away because they know that those elephants are going to chase them. But when you see a rhino approaching a buffalo, the rhinos stay calm because they know that the rhinos are not going to chase the buffalo. And that goes for both black and white rhinos, whereas elephants, not so much. So I think elephants become quite inquisitive around humans and cars because they know that, you know, why are these people, why is this animal not running away? Obviously they know that we are a different type of animal, and you know, we drive around these bigger animals with legs that don't move forward, but they roll all the time, which is kind of weird for them. But they get used to it, and I think that's one of the reasons why, you know, they're just so curious. But no, it's all about the personality. The personality of a rhino compared to the personality of elephants, it's too different. It's apples and pears, really. And I think that's also what is nice about them, and we enjoy them a little bit more. And so yeah, well, but yeah, so the last known area for these elephants is somewhere just down here. So this is where we're going to start looking for tracks, and we will hopefully, cross fingers, find some tracks somewhere along this road. If we find them along this road, then we know that they've crossed over and that they're somewhere here, because we haven't seen any tracks so far yet. So we know that as it stands, they are probably somewhere here, but if we see them cross over, then we know that they are still somewhere this way, because no tracks yet. They won't necessarily cross over back or double back on themselves in the same area. You know, they'll probably go and feed. If they double back, then they'll probably cross over here if they crossed over down there. What's that noise? But this is also where we need to start listening for sticks breaking. Anyway, we're going to find out, we're going to send you to find out if David has crossed over that Mara River.
Well, I'm getting closer and closer to the Mara River, and what normally happens, the zebras we saw behind, or the zebras we were watching earlier, that was a big group, and it's a group that to me looks like a potential, you know, a lot to cross the river. And then we just found another lot here with Shiv, And the two main places where possibly these wildebeest, or rather, sorry, the zebras would cross. There's one that we call the main crossing, and that's where we have been going every other day. And then there's another crossing point that we call Kaburu, which is much smaller, much tighter. And we are suspecting this lot might be heading to the smaller crossing called Kaburu. You can see how the male are round together, building numbers, building confidence, but the little vegetation, the green vegetation you see behind them, it is the Mara River, so which would mean I may need to go drive, go through those thickets, and get myself a position. Sandy Franklin, the migration, the greater migration is yet to be here. Most of these zebras that you see here, Sandy Franklin, come from an area called Loita. And we have always seen them before the actual migration gets here. Them milling and coming around to come and join up with the actual migration. And this may take about 3 weeks to a month before we now start seeing the actual head of the migration. Now, they seem to be moving from northwards, southwards. But the migration goes the other way. Serengeti National Park, if you look on your map, Sandy Franklin, you'll notice it is south of the Mara, and that's where the big masses of the wildebeest will be coming from. So this is just going the wrong direction. But once they meet, so many things happen. Some will join the big masses, end up going back to Serengeti end of September, early October, and some will still remain here. And this is exactly what we are seeing that remained back in the Masai Mara last year. So you just need, again, a bit of courage, again, a bit of build up from behind, and then they feel a bit uncomfortable the way they're being pushed by the Lord behind them, so they keep moving forward. And then one of them is like, you know what, we need to cross, we need to ease the discomfort here by crossing the river, and that's what we'll be looking up. Angie, how do I give you that answer now? Where we are now, we are more southwest. We are southwest from where we left. We left the T-boys in Marshall this morning. Now, what will happen either way, we are going to the river, myself and Shiv, and we are going to assess how it looks like. Being a cut day is always one good day to get as many cuts as we can, and we see no potential overcrossing. We'll head back, Angie, to look for the T-boys, because we know where we left them with the marsh girls, and we saw 3 of the marsh girls, one of them being Kaleo and her 2 sons, and we saw Okingo, Jojo, and Moja Moja. Most importantly, I know they are all in the Bila Shakalaga, and they are not going anywhere. We'll find them right there. It's going to read the body language of these zebras, and maybe after about an hour from now, myself and Shiv on camera, we're going to make that important call. Shiv, do you agree with me?
I agree with you.
Yes, Shiv is very easy. She got to the floor. She's always happy, and she doesn't make life for anybody out here in the African bush. Pistuya, the general movement of the migration, not sure how my hands look at you, is clockwise. And they will not stop all around the year for the 12 months. Now, excuse me, the arrival in the Mara could vary by about a month. 1 month early, 1 month late. Today, I think, the 20th today, maybe? And we haven't seen yet the head of the migration here. Last year, but by mid-June, we had about 50% of the migration in the Mara, and especially the Mara Triangle. So that will vary from year to year. Now, the only time history, I'm sure you know, they will stop the movement for some time is in the month of February, the first 2 weeks of February, and mainly or the second and third week around Valentine, excuse me, when we'll get all of them, or the females rather, they will be giving birth for about 2 weeks. 500, 600, 1,000 calves are dropped at that particular time. And as soon as they are strong enough, they start the journey northwards again. So it's a continuous journey. They do not stop, but apart from that one particular period. Dak, the other day, we did a very good count, and I trusted Shiv to count. Shiv, please stop laughing. And you had the question, Dak wants to know roughly, in that particular group that you have on your lands, how many do you think they are?
More than 10.
Ah, you can give me a better answer. Dak, do you think it could be 300 plus?
Easy.
Yeah, Dak, give or take, we have over 300 zebras here. And they're getting very, very close to the river, Dak. And of course, I'm sure, as I said before, they know what to expect. I've called the Mara River a few times the river of life and death, and they would remember very well from last year what transpired. So, they need to make that decision. If any of them will have death wish, they'll be the first one to go right in the water. Come on, zebras. The crocs also need some food. So the distance between the crossing we expect them to use, the smaller one that I'm calling Kaburu, and the main crossing is about 3 kilometers apart. But in between, the thickets, bushes, rocks, little small forests. Daban, you notice, if you look at these particular zebras here, and I'm sure you know the social structure of the bachelor zebras, you'll have, say, one stallion with 3 mares, a few fowls. What we have now here are many, many families that have come together. So sometimes we get, even amongst the zebras, they got clans amongst themselves, and they may be moving that way in the way they relate, and not moving together. So we have this one clan here, another clan there, or 5 families, 10 families together, and that's what makes the difference, Daban, in how they will cross the river. I think the best thing is to go to the river, get a position, excuse me, do you think so, Shiv? And just stay put and chance and see what happens. Because all is about luck, is about timing. In the background, we can hear the Rufus nip lag. All right, Shiv, do you want us to head out? The last I heard of Eric was climbing the mountains of Mabula looking for elephants.
Well, we are literally at the foot of the mountains there, just behind us over there. It seems maybe elephants are here. Let me reverse and show you the proof that the elephants have been here. Oh. This is a branch that is still green. It's still wet and has been plucked from, what is this? This is not a silver cluster leaf. Looks like a strange bush willow. Anyway, proof that they are here. There are also tracks as well, so that's also another bit of proof. But we'll move slowly here around the corners. We don't want to speed through this area. We want to take the time to look everywhere. And when needed, can also stop and listen, but it seems like they're all moving along the way here. So we'll continue on. There may also be other people in the sighting as well. Joshua, elephants can roam wherever they want. You know, if a lot of the national roads in South Africa, not a lot of them, a select few of them, those roads were built on the paths that elephants made going from one area to the other. So that road that goes all the way from Cape Town all the way along the coastline through the southern side of the Western Cape to the Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, all the way up to Mozambique, well, that was a road that was made by elephants. The road that goes from Cape Town all the way to Joburg, the N1, also a road that was developed by elephants, and then obviously a few of them in between. But Amaros, we're not talking about a small group of elephants. We're talking about hundreds. We're talking about 500 plus elephants, you know, walking on a road. Oh, there's an elephant. We had 3 bums here. It would be best. Must I go more? Oh yeah. Perfect. Hello, Elise. Wow. Wow, wait. Let's she come around the corner and there's bumps in the road, which is very, very cool. So yeah, we've got 3 here, 1, 2, 3, and then there's another one in front of us at our sort of 12 o'clock, and then another one at our 11 o'clock, which is quite cool. Candace, indeed, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Very nice to get along or get to see these beautiful giants again. I want to see how many there are. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes quite difficult to keep tabs on how many there are in this thicket, but I think the most important thing is that we just enjoy the sighting over here. Okay, there's a 6th one over there. Any more, and we know that the males will be here. Sam, so very good question. When you enter elephant sighting, you go slowly. And then you stop at a distance where you feel comfortable, but not right on top of the elephant. You know, if you can, maybe about 30 to 40 meters is a good distance to stop at, maybe even further, depending on how many elephants there are, but also what the elephants look like. And let them come to you. Don't go to them. If an elephant wants to come to you, then it's coming on its terms. You know, if it's running at you, then that's your cue to maybe start and reverse. But if it's walking slowly towards you, the best thing is to turn the vehicle off. I think that's one of the most important things. You turn your vehicle off, sit there, let it come. Don't make any loud noises. Don't make any sudden movements within the car. Also depends if you're in a closed car, open car. If you're in an open car, by all means, no sudden movements. But if you are in a closed car, it can be a little bit different. But I think the most important thing is the turning the vehicle off. Those vibrations that the vehicle gives off when the engine is running is something that elephants pick up. You must remember that they communicate with each other via seismic waves, which is something that they pick up from the ground. So they send these waves through the ground and pick these waves up through the ground, or through their feet, actually, shall I say, not through the ground, but they get sent through the ground. And by having a vehicle on, you actually disrupt their communications, and that in turn actually really does it makes them rather upset and sometimes very antsy, which is not what you want. You don't want an antsy elephant, because an antsy elephant can sometimes become an aggro elephant. This is very cool though. You can hear them breaking branches as they feeding very gently. Moonbeam Smith, elephant trunks are very similar to zebra stripes in a sense. Each zebra will have its own set of unique stripes. Elephants have different trunks sizes for different elephants. Some will be longer than others, some will be shorter than others, some will be thicker than others, some will be thinner than others. Some might all just be thickness, and some might all just be thinness. It all depends on the elephant and its genes as well. Elephants where the parents were big, like if the male was big, the female was quite big, male was quite muscular, then chances are that the offspring are also going to have pretty big trunks, pretty big bodies. It's also the same with the height of elephants. You get some elephants with big bodies, short legs. Some elephants with big bodies, long legs. Some elephants with long legs, small bodies. It's it's actually quite funny to see big elephants with short legs. There was a big boy down in Amakala. His name was, what was his name? George. No, it wasn't George. Oh no, this is not good. Why is it evading me? Norman, that's his name. This big boy, his name was Norman, and he was arguably one of the biggest bodied elephants I have ever seen, but he was not the tallest elephant. And he actually lost his tusks in the Grand Canyon area. So for those of you who have seen I don't know if it's a highlight or if it's a virtual safari that Morgan and I did down in Amakala, of this beautiful kind of erosion valley. The elephant lost his tusks. Don't know where in that canyon, but somewhere down there he lost his tusks to the environment, and that was as a result of him either falling or being pushed. And we suspect that he was actually pushed by Collie, who is now the dominant bull. Norman used to be the dominant bull, but in terms of body size, his body was much bigger than Collie's, and his legs were just a little bit shorter. Collie is a very tall elephant. He's a very, very tall elephant with reasonably sized tusks. I would say his tusks are the same size as the big boy here. Although this big boy definitely has, I think he has a bit of height. Maybe about half a meter over Collie. Something like that. Or so? Yeah, somewhere around there. Ooh, yes, madam. Good afternoon. Head check. Yeah. What's your plan, madam? We're going to show you a highlight of when we had, I think it's a Zika, all the way down in Amakala. Now some of you may be wondering where this gentleman's tusks are. And they are lying somewhere, or one of them is lying somewhere in the dune forest, and the other one is, I believe, somewhere in the basin, I think, having been broken off in battle with another male, or with our dominant male, Collie. And we've seen that he's a big boy. He doesn't take nonsense, and he's got very thick tusks. So Zika came second best with Collie on 2 different occasions, and now he's suffering with no tusks. Not to worry though, as his tusks are regrowing back very slowly, but they are definitely growing back. He can still do a fair bit of fighting without them. They don't need tusks to fight, but it's ideal to have tusks to fight with. You know, it's like taking a stick to a gun. No, maybe a stick, not a stick to a gun fight, but maybe like a peg to a broom fight. Brushing off all the dirt. Brushing off dirt as he puts it in his mouth. Very particular feeders, these elephants are. Very particular indeed. Well, there you have it. So any of the bulls that have lost tusks in Amakala as a result to them fighting with that big boy Collie. Collie is he's a man of violence, shall I say. Long ago, he actually he killed an elephant. His name was Buliki, and Buliki was just misbehaving, and you know, I think it had gone on for far too long, and Collie was just not having it at all. So, I mean, I think he was, I don't know how old Buliki was. I think he was maybe early teens. So he could have been anywhere between 9 and, no, I don't think he was 9. I think anywhere between 12 and 15. Those are the stages where young bulls are very naughty. I think it was just causing a whole lot of problems for the females and just for the herd in general. And Collie put his foot down and said enough is enough, and him and Buliki had a bit of a fight. The skull can still be seen. Yeah. Hillary, there's all sorts of things what can make an elephant turn really aggressive. You know, sometimes weather can be one of them. It's funny, but usually the presence of predators can definitely throw them off a little bit. Ooh, there's a big boy. That can also do a bit of aggression bait. But also just following elephants. If you're following them and you on their heels non-stop the entire time, they do get a little unhappy. But I think what makes elephants really aggressive is mostly just disrespect. Elephants don't like to be disrespected by anyone. I know last year, it wasn't last year, it was earlier this year. It was actually a funny sighting. I wasn't in the sighting, but I heard so much about it and I saw lots of the videos. When I think Sean was in the Sabi Sands with Khat, and he had, I don't know if he had wild dogs first, if he had elephants first, but he somehow had both of them in the same sighting, and those elephants were upset. They were very upset. They were breaking branches, they were trumpeting, and I know the dogs were also kind of, egging them on a little bit, antagonizing them, and that's what dogs do. I had a sighting with the wild dogs last year where they were antagonizing the a stallion zebra. They had no possible chance of being able to take down this zebra, but they still chased after it, and the zebra chased after them multiple times. It was 3 dogs that were basically just circling the zebra, and he wasn't having any of it. But he was also protecting his harem. There was a young calf in the young foal in the harem, and he was doing everything in his will and his power to basically protect them from these dogs, because the wild dogs would have easily taken that. The wild dogs would have easily taken out that little foal. So I think it's one of those things. And we're gonna show you that highlight of Sean with those wild dogs and elephants.
This is just incredible, guys. Hey, have you ever in your life? Man, I think that Ellie is going to come at him again. I have parked in this particular way because if that Ellie does come, I'm going to have to move as well. Instead of facing the wrath of this guy. Here he comes. That's right. You chase them off. You naughty dogs. Here come the rest of the herd. Marilla Shortcake, absolutely they did. Here she comes again. Oh, that is phenomenal. Oh my goodness.
So there you have it, a bit of madness with elephants and wild dogs. We're still here with our elephants. There's not much of a visual. Is there space? Let me make space. Not much of a visual at the moment. These elephants have decided to. No, not today. We've had enough vehicles following us, but it is what it is. The noise is right here. I mean, they're like maybe about 20 meters just off the road, but it's such a thick area in this particular part of the world. It does make things very, very, very difficult to potentially view. You can see what looks like the back of one may be making his way down to the road, in which case we might have to reposition because we're probably not going to be in the best place to see him. That's fine. If he comes to the road, that's great. We're gonna. Oh, there's a trunk. We're gonna send you a highlight. Or send you to watch a highlight of the other sighting I mentioned of the wild dogs chasing the zebra. Ladies and gentlemen, look at what we have here. A special treat this morning. These dogs are harassing a zebra and the stallion's not having it. He's not having it at all. It's just two of them. It's quite interesting, actually. Sure, this is amazing. Absolutely. You don't see this very often. You don't see this very often at all. Sure. These dogs, I don't know. I think a zebra's too big for them. They don't look like they're very motivated, to be very honest. It's like they were playing games with those zebra. I mean, a big male zebra is not something you want to mess with. So here you see the size of that zebra is definitely not one that a wild dog, oh there's a bum, not one a wild dog would be able to handle, or a handful of wild dogs. Zebra are ferocious creatures. Or they can be. They're usually very nice and docile. But can we see through the tree here? Yay, nay? No. It's just backside. Tell me when. And a wild dog will get kicked if it does attempt, and it's not something that it won't be pretty. Wild dog will be very, very sore. Pretty much, Maureen. Pretty much. That seems like the score is correct there. Yeah. Don't mess with elephants. That's one thing. You will come second best. You may win the battle, but you will not win the war when it comes to messing with elephants. This is the big boy. Is it? No. It's not the big boy, but it's one of them. Tobias, yes, there is. Yes, there is better vegetation for them in the mountains, which is one of the reasons why they tend to stick to these mountains. There's lots of fig trees here, so when the fig trees fruit, they are here immediately. There's lots of trees with nice seeds on them, so they're also here. Seeds definitely a good source of protein. And then obviously the silver cluster leaves, although these silver cluster leaves don't look as if they've been pruned by the elephants, but they've definitely been fed on. I love watching elephants trying to turn around in bushes. Oh, there's a sweet thorn. You're going to take the sweet thorn with you? No? Okay. Perhaps not. This gentleman is in must. Or he was in must. It's the end of it. His temple glands are covered in dust. Beautiful. Is that sickle bush you munching? Roz, I don't know if I like the bombastic side eye. I'm not too sure. It worries me a little bit because I've been given the side eye by many elephants before, and I would say 4 out of 5 times those ellies have chased me. They do this thing where it's called false feeding, where they break branches off leaves. They just don't put it in their mouth. They don't put anything in their mouth, but they're breaking stuff. It looks like they're feeding. It's false feeding. It means that elephant is processing its next move and thinking about what it's going to do to scare you away or to get you away from it, or how it could get to you. So that's happened to me a couple of times, mostly all in Amakala, by the same elephant, who unfortunately is no longer with us. Well, no, he's not that he's no longer with us, he's just no longer at Amakala. Julian, I think they're adapting. It's a slow process. It's not a quick process. It's like adjusting to a new home, new neighborhood, new neighbors. It's like basically relocating somebody from Cape Town to Johannesburg, or from Johannesburg to Cape Town, or from even from someone living in Johannesburg to Dubai. It's very different. It's you got to get used to all the different cultures, shall I say. Let us turn around. It looks like quite an awkward position. We'll quickly turn around in this little slip road and face them, because they're still moving in that direction. But we're going to show you a virtual safari of those rhinos when they were relocated to Mabula.
15% of the world's white rhino population, and if something were to happen on project site, that means 15% of the world's white rhino population are at risk.
Today we are here at a location that we cannot disclose for protection of the animals. We are going to begin following the story of 32 rhinos that are making their way to their new home at Mabula Private Game Reserve. These animals were originally part of an enormous private herd that has since been bought by African Parks for rewilding to various parts of Southern Africa.
So I'm Don Jooste. I'm the project manager for African Parks' Rhino Rewild program. In 2023, the property at large with old management went up for a couple of auctions and failed auctions, and we stepped into the space like sort of with one clear goal and vision in mind, and that was to rewild all 2,000 rhino. We've moved 644 to date. We've got 17 recipient areas in 4 different countries. So the benefit of what this is doing is not just for rhino, but it's basically in its entirety looking after ecosystems. We need partners in this. We can't do it alone without the people funding, without the Mabulas doing the great conservation work, and it's absolutely an honor to dovetail into operations like that.
Over the next few days, we are going to follow these rhino from this secret holding facility to their temporary boma at Mabula, and finally where they will be rewilded onto the reserve.
Evening everyone, off we go again. We got 8 animals to do in frame 3, 13 animals in frame 4, and 3 bulls and strauss. Most importantly, just get involved. I mean, we're here to have a good time responsibly, so let's do that. But thanks very much, and then yeah, we hit the ground running tomorrow morning.
Well everyone, we've just arrived here this morning. There's a buzz of anticipation, a bit of nervous energy, and you can hear the choppers in the background, the trucks are here, and now it's just to make it happen.
I think it's about 5:45, and we're about to start our rhino operation. We have 24 to catch today. So our rhino capture operation is incredibly complex. We're working with a mammal that's incredibly sensitive to the opioid drugs that we use when we dart them.
So I'm Richard Harvey, the wildlife out in the project, in charge of darting the animals, catching them, making sure that the doses are correct. So we essentially make all of our drugs and darts the night before, just so we can be most efficient. We know what animals we're catching, we know how old they are, we know their rough size and weights.
The helicopter's just found the first ones. There's a heap that can go wrong on a particular day, so we worried about literally hundreds of different things that can go wrong.
Risk. I think it's worth mentioning that there's always risk every time you put a dart in an animal, every time you put an animal in a crate.
And our hope is that at the end of the day we have 24 rhinos in crates that are all healthy for the journey to Mabula.
I'm in a difficult spot here. I'm going to go right because of the fence, eh?
I think let's just wait here, Don. We're going to mess something up here.
I'm just trying my best here, you know? Right, Kester, we're going to move soon, eh? You're looking really good, aren't you?
Mabula, just wait. Patience. Beautiful.
Sister, ek kom nie reg met hierdie bloed nie.
Leave the syringe in. Do you want now's a good chance to put your foot collar on, yeah? Okay, just watch your eyes here, everybody. Now we're going to walk it like you would a horse. So we partially reverse the immobilizing drug, so enough to be able to get them up. So there we go, the first calf is on its way already.
We try and catch up to 3 at the same time to put them in the crates, and those 3 can be cow-calf combinations as well.
We're in really good hands, you know, partnering Conservation Solutions, Wildscapes, our veterinarian partners, a really good team on the ground here that know what to do and how to do it, vet nurses, experienced people that have been working with rhino most of their lives.
So once they're in the crates, we give them some drugs to reverse them, but those drugs are kind of a half-half. They reverse, but also keep them a little bit sleepy for the journey.
A couple of objectives in this whole operation. Obviously, we are in collaboration with African parks and assisting them in getting these rhinos out into different meta populations. It's important for us genetically. You know, this is a massive boost for us, unrelated rhino into a population. So that hybrid vigor for us, we're very excited about. In fact, as well, it's speeding up our reproduction. So yeah, what an amazing story for us.
Wow, everyone. What an experience. I mean, this has just been a work of art, really. The coordination, the smoothness of everything. Obviously, nothing is exactly perfect. You've got to deal with a lot of curveballs that might come your way. But just to see this group of people working together and to be part of this is just something extra special.
You can see now the first crates are being lifted up with the crane. The rhinos being put on the back of the truck that's going to move these few from here. At the same time, we've got different trucks loading different rhinos that have all been darted and moved and put into the crates for their transportation. And just the sheer volume and mass of operation that's happening at the moment is really quite incredible. Well, the rhinos have been loaded into the trucks and they are beginning their journey as they head to Mabula. What a morning it's been, full of adrenaline, full of incredible people working together to make this all happen. And we are excited to follow them now, to leave here and to head towards Mabula. Well, we are here outside of Mabula Private Game Reserve. It is 9:30 at night, and after a day of traveling, we are anxiously awaiting the arrival of these rhino. At any moment now, they're going to come around the corner and make their way towards the bowman.
I think looking at the ICUN red list, the black rhinos especially are still in Appendix 1. They are quite endangered, and there's a very big concern of their numbers, the whole of Africa. And more so, I would say, the southern part of Africa, unlike where we are in East Africa. I think we are doing pretty good in trying to protect them and monitoring them. But all the operations that we see being done, like moving them to Mabula, putting them in the Boma, I think those guys need a big shout out. And possibly we have always requested for funding, like what we have the World Earth Impact Foundation in terms of helping conservation. In the Masai Mara, we only have the black rhinos. Those are the native rhinos here in East Africa. And the white ones, we all know, were introduced here, but also apparently they have been doing very, very well. Finally, we got to the Mara River, and we have taken ourselves a position where we think the huge masses of zebras that we saw earlier, should they decide to cross, they're going to cross from this particular point. Now, we can hear a lot of bellowing going on in the bushes, not where we are, but we know at one point they'll get close to the river, and if they cross, it's what Shiv is showing you at that particular point. The water levels are quite low, and I don't see them having a problem. But the thing is, they'll be coming from the Greater Mara, or from the north side, towards the south, as Shiv is showing you. And you can see the level there could be about a meter and a half. Actually, if you look on the banks there, all those rocks, we still got hippos, not where they are, but if Shiv, you go right in the middle there, at the very corner, you can see some pinkish body, but that's like in the water chili. That one there is a hippo. The rest are all rocks, but don't be surprised. There are times we see so many hippos looking like rocks on the banks of Mara River, but currently those are rocks, and the sun is going down, and we have so much sun on that side of the bank, and which could be quite tough for the hippos. So all those tilly are rocks, but we still got so many hippos inside the river. And what you can hear, they are breathing and going. Those are hippos, not very far from where I am, but rather difficult to see them because you've got some bushes on either side of my vehicle. Because all of us are right here anxiously waiting to see if the zebras we saw earlier are going to cross the river at this point. Yes, this migration has been going on, time immemorial. Every year we'll see the wildebeest and the zebras crossing. Currently, for the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, anybody who have seen a crossing, on the Mara River, it has been from the zebras. The wildebeest are yet to be here. We know when we get proper or full throttle of migration, mainly we see more wildebeest than zebras. Mayash, stay with us. We are staying here. We are not going anywhere. Who knows when they will start coming here. But apart from myself, we have a few other people who also hoping that the zebras can cross. I can hear them very well. Like, ooh, 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 ooh. Like, let's go. No, you go first. No, you go first. No, me, I don't want to die. No, you remember what happened last time? I've just been imagining what goes through their mind if that will be the case. Can't remember the name of the viewer who said he was wearing patient's pants, and I said we need, patient blouses, shoes, hats, and just sit here and wait until, they decide to cross. Fiona, yes, Fiona, I hope you're still with us. Finally, Fiona, we made it through the river, and here we are, Fiona. Who knows? They're always wonderful to hear your name, Fiona, when you join us. There's a croc there. She was showing you, Fiona. Deb, we know reptiles are very, very clever animals. And Deb, those hippos, yes, said affirmative. That crocs are clever. When it's very tight, the water levels have gone low. I'm not sure to call that brumation or aestivation. When the crocs will always dig themselves some nests of bank, on the banks of the river for some couple of months until the water levels rise, and then the migration is back. But I would say, excuse me, the reptiles, or rather the crocs, will always know what time roughly to expect the migration, because this time around I have started seeing, Deb, more crocs than the normal, meaning that they are all prepared and they know migration time is here. Lions, Deb? Maybe yes, maybe not very sure about that. But the crocs, we all know most reptiles are very clever animals. Come on, Zibs. Build the courage, come down. Like the croc you see, they are floating. I'm assuming that croc is floating there. Once they start coming down, she'll go further to the base of the river and wait or time and choose on which one to zero in on and catch them. We have always seen them doing the death rolls, and who knows, this could be the time. If anybody who I'm looking forward to enjoy a crossing here is the girl on camera with me today, Shiv. Shiv, you haven't seen a crossing in your life, have you?
No, very nearly.
Yeah.
Put their toes in the water.
Yeah, 3 or 4 days ago we were here with Shiv and we saw them putting their hooves right into the water then they, came out. So they refused to cross, but I'm sure she cannot wait to see that happen. What I think she's going to do is go to another crossing point maybe and go and chance. I just got an intel from a friend of mine, possibly the zebras we've been waiting for could have gone to another area to cross. Let's go and chance, shall we? All right, gather the rains have stopped in Sandringham. Let's go and join Sean.
Hello everybody, and yes indeed David, we have braved to come out, but it is a pretty cold afternoon, I've got to say. Very cold actually, and we are back on the airstrip. There's our boy from this morning, the elephant. So we're back on the airstrip looking for our lions. Greetings again, my name is Sean, and behind me in the boss's chair is Impo, and besides being frozen, we are very happy to be here and going to enjoy our afternoon with you guys. The rain has stopped and we are looking forward to looking for these lions. So we've come back on the airstrip. We're going to have a look. So where they were this morning, which is on this side here, the Ellies are still here. So I just want to see whether they've been chased. Could possibly have been chased over the road here. Trying to relocate them. I do have some tracks. Yeah, they have been chased over the road. Oh, sorry, Paul. So I'm going to just check in here. I've got some tracks on the road here. I think they walked across here. But let's go have a look at what happened this morning. It was awesome. They're all starting to head to mom. Kids. Pam, I know. It's so good to see him. I know a lot of you were wondering where he was, as were we. But it's good to see that he is doing well and living the dream out here in Sandringham. Oh, he's beautiful. He is a stunning boy. Very, very nice. Oh, morning, boy. Hello. Aye, aye, aye. You're a beautiful boy. Yeah, it really was an amazing morning with them. And like I was saying, it was so good to see Pasanwari doing well and getting on well with the family, which is always good. So I've driven into this block here. I'm glad I'm not on foot because it's quite thick. And I don't see much activity or tracks here, unfortunately, and I'm kind of blocked in now. But the weather, because of the rain, and we had a little bit of wind earlier, sorry. Maureen, yes, absolutely, with me burying Impo there in some leaves. It certainly was a very good Saturday morning, that's for sure. I'm just going to reverse a little bit here. Yeah, it was an amazing morning, and what I was saying is with this weather that we're having, these cats would have moved quite thick into the bush. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them. We had such a nice sighting this morning. I think I'm going to wait for them to possibly come out, and there were some tracks headed down from here. So I think I'm going to follow up on those tracks and go and see whether we can't find them. And we'll leave these cats
They gave us such a good one this morning. But I will be back, guys, so just make sure the makeup and lipstick and everything is done. In the meantime, we're going to send you back to Eric, who has some elephants.
We're still here with our beautiful elephants, and we're just watching them doing their thing, I suppose. And very nice sighting. They've finally come out into the open. I think it's also the fact that it's just us here now. Not very many other vehicles. And I think all that vibration, like I said earlier, these elephants don't enjoy it. Which is why it's always so important to turn your vehicle off when you're in the sighting with these beautiful creatures. Because believe it or not, it affects them more than you actually know. Moonlight at midnight? Absolutely. Absolutely. They remember the guys by smell, but they also remember the vehicles that did them wrong. I remember driving a vehicle that an elephant, one of the guys, I don't know what he did to the elephant, but I remember him, what was the story? I think he'd come back from a drive and he was complaining about the elephants. And then a week later, I was driving the same vehicle that he was driving. I came into the sighting, and it just is the vibe of the herd just changed like this, and they all became very hostile, and I couldn't figure out what was going on, why they all wanted to chase me, and why they were all kind of getting all kind of, you know, angry. Hello. Little smell there. She's contemplating what did she cross the road, or does she continue on? Cross the road. Go there. No, actually don't. Stay there, because it's nice and open. And there she goes, down the road. The Wild Hearts Wilder Legacy is basically, it is a parent and children conservation safari for young people aged 12 and above who want to do more than just observe wildlife and want to be actively contributing to its protection. Now, what you will be involved in is the tracking of collared cheetahs. You will be involved in wildlife darting with Dr. Andy Fraser. You'll discover the ground hornbill project and spend time with the Wild Earth TV crew at Mabula. And you will be staying at the exclusive Kingfisher Villa. This is more than just a holiday. It is an opportunity to grow and inspire curious young minds. This is something you don't want to miss. So visit Wild Earth Travel to find out more information about this. The Wild Hearts Wilder Legacy. Look at all these bums. Bums in the bushes. That's all we see at the moment. But it's nice to actually have them quite close to the roads. So branches being broken. As they always are, tranquil sightings. Mayesh, actually, elephants tend to choose the thorny vegetation over the non-thorny vegetation. And no, it doesn't bother them at all. You know, the inside of their mouths is pretty thick, the tongues are pretty thick, the skin at least, and then their trunks. They don't feel it. They rip thorn trees to pieces. I think, you know, a thorn tree doesn't stand a chance against an elephant. And one of them actually proved that this is true. You know, they basically, one was feeding on the sickle bush, which has a very, very sharp, very strong, spiny thorn. Pima, that's a good question. If they can find the tusk, then they would go and collect it. But it all depends. It all depends if they can. The tusks for Norman were found. That's how, well, obviously we know that it happened in Grand Canyon because they were found in Grand Canyon. But bear in mind that they were also found in Grand Canyon a good 2 or 3 years after it was discovered that he lost his tusks. So it's pretty impressive, and they were pretty much lodged in the mud. But as for someone like, is that a green pigeon? It is a green pigeon. Hello, I've never seen a green pigeon just sitting out in the open. It was probably sitting in one of these trees the elephants were breaking. But as for Azeka's tusks and the tusk of Afstat, the second largest bull, no, they weren't recovered. They're deep in the bush. I'm sure they'll be found eventually. You know, there are a lot of trails walks that take place in Namakala, so someone will find it somewhere. I know that one of them is somewhere in the dune forest. Now, the fact that it's in the dune forest where there's all this soft sand, there's a possibility it may not be seen, especially now after all the floods. You know, it could have been, you know, because it's a heavy tusk, it's not going to go anywhere. So it could stop sand from being washed downhill wherever it may lie, and could actually be covered by said sand. No, Teba, I think all elephants across Africa can understand each other. And I also think the Indian elephants can also understand each other. Something that I think is so cool. It's something that I saw not too long ago. I think it was last week or the week before. But in I think it was 217, 218 BC. So this is a very, very long time ago. 37 African elephants walked roughly about 2,500 kilometers across the Alps. Now, that is quite a far distance. Obviously, it's not something they would have done in, a couple of days. They would have done that over, let's say, maybe a month and a half, 2 months or so, if they just continued walking. But, for African elephants, to date all the way back then is, to me, very impressive. And goes to show that they traveled. Those elephants traveled. I mean, the animals are animals that are very, very good at walking long distances. Shame. I feel so sorry for the little baby elephant that Morgan and I found, who we named the Spooks, as well as the newer baby elephant that was born not too long after Spooks was born. Those poor Ellies, those little ones, their legs got working in the first 6 months of them being on this beautiful green earth. Those elephants were walking up and down and up and down and up and down the ridgeline and the slope going down into the basin of Amakhala. And that in itself is not an easy task. It's not an easy task. You see the adults. You see the adults climb all the way to the top and take a deep breath, a sigh of, whew, we did it, and then continue doing whatever it is what they were doing. And the adults can move very quickly, and when the adults move quickly, those babies, they have to keep up. They have to keep up because they are constantly, there's always somebody behind them, and they're just being pushed and pushed and pushed. So no, I suppose it was good training for them. But David has something in the water, so we're going to send you over to him and discover what it is.
Apparently, I have something in the water that is not alive. It is dead. On a number of occasions, I have called this river the river of life and death. And you can see why I call it the river of death. Because we got this one particular hippopotamus that looks very bloated. And I just got here. I have no idea what could have happened to him. Excuse me. I'm guessing him because by virtue of his size, it looks like a male to me, but there could be a few possible reasons, possible causes of his death. And maybe my first number one theory, it could have been, been involved in a fight with another bull, and it died. There's always a lot of competition, a lot of territorial fights that happened or goes on between hippo bulls or hippo males. I was here 3 days ago, Shiv.
2 days ago.
We were here 2 days ago with Shiv, and there was no dead hippo here. All of them were alive. The crocs were alive, but it's a bit strange to see this one that could have died either the day we left that night, or yesterday, or last night, or possibly today. The big plus for this, the crocs will have a lot of food. In general common, if you look carefully, apart from the size, you'll see the eyes of the male hippos are always, or the eyelids, or put it, the eyes are a little bigger in size and more snotty, or more coming out than of a female. That's one other important difference. You can tell when they are under or in water, but in general, apart from looking at the udder of the female, we also look at the sizes. Those could be the three possible differences between males and females. And of course, the most obvious difference is when you see them mating. Now, where we came here from the previous position we were in, you remember where we were? We had some clear vision of the river. We saw a few crocs, we saw a few hippos in the water. There was no dead hippo. It's because the crocs, or rather the zebras who were waiting before, took a different turn, and we were suspecting or thinking possibly they might cross from where we are. Cobra King, the hippos, the crocs just know well how dangerous the hippos are. They will just crush them, into pieces using their canine teeth. But now this one here, it won't even take long. Not even sure. Maybe we could be having crocs under him who are already feeding, on him. But Cobra King in general, when you look at hippos and crocs when they are all alive, they got some wonderful relationship while in the water. But this time around, the crocs know they have some Christmas party here for the next couple of days. If anybody else we expect to come here, maybe tomorrow or the day after, will be vultures. Many times you have seen vultures landing on hippos like this feeding. And sometimes back, I think it was Shiv and Tim, they saw some hyenas, I think. That Shiv, was it you? Hyenas that were feeding on a hippo in the water. Was it? Oh, it wasn't you. Maybe it was Tim with someone else. But Elka, any animal would cross this river. Any animal, including giraffes, cheetahs, lions, hyenas, and even wild dogs. All animals we know about in the Mara will cross. Of course not all. We wouldn't expect a honey badger or an African wildcat maybe possibly to cross this river, but most animals will cross this river because most will be able to swim across the river if need be. So we are quite a number of us patiently waiting here to see if the zebras will come close to cross the river rather, and who knows what time that will happen. Patience being very, very key. Only if we could all know where they're going to cross from, because where we were, we thought that that was the actual perfect crossing point. Not sure who had that crossing, but again, you remember I just said maybe we come tomorrow here, we might see hyenas trying to get in the water, feeding on this dead hippo, but vultures will be very good candidates coming to scavenge this. And the other day we had a similar setting to what I'm talking about here in the Masai Mara.
Here we had some hyenas, and these hyenas seems to be on a feeding frenzy. In the background there's some hippos, and you know what? This hippo was in a fight. Looks like he was in a territorial fight, and what happened? He got killed. So hippos will always fight over territory, and young or older bulls sometimes can succumb to the fight. So these hyenas, sometimes we see them to be the cleanup crew, the cleanup squad. They play an important role in this ecosystem. You can see there's a big clan here. I reckon there's about almost 40 hyenas around here.
Nothing here goes to waste, and every death, every murder will end up getting consumed by Mother Nature. Sometimes back, could be a couple of months ago, maybe 3 months ago, or maybe 2 months, I'm trying to remember, near the marsh area, I saw what I called the Battle of the Marsh. There were two hippos, two bulls that fought for so long, and I left them fighting, and I guessed possibly one of them succumbed to the bite that it got from the other hippo male. They'll always fight for any water points, they'll fight while in the water. They're very territorial, we know that, and it could be anything that would lead them to a fight. But basically also, hippos, the bulls have been known to fight for mating rights. During the rains, when you have lots of water, everybody's always peaceful because if you don't own a territory, you could pick any water point. Leona, most crocs that I have seen mating will always be mating on land. But, Leona looking at hippos, we know hippos will always love to mate. Not love, I don't think I've seen hippos mating outside water, but hippos will always mate in water, Leona. And crocs in general will want to mate outside water. But I would imagine also, we never say never. There could be cases where some could also mate inside the water. I hear lots of bellowing from the zebras from a distance, but none of them won't come close to the water. But I'm sure at one point, if they build enough pressure, there could be a possibility of that happening. Very good camera work, Shiv. I'm imagining if we come back here tomorrow, we'll see lots of vultures on top of this dead hippo. It takes the courage of only one zebra to come straight to the water, and all the others will follow. You can see those hippos there are still breathing once in a while. You see them blowing out water from the river. It could take anything from a minute to 3 minutes while under the water before breathing out. Alana, I do not think hippos mourn one of their own. If one goes a highly doubt, Alana, that happens. For the hippos, once, you're dead, you're gone, that's end of the story. I would highly doubt. But again, you never know. We usually say, we never say never out here. I can't see any hippos that is alive close to the one that's dead. Many times I have seen dead hippos in the water. They're always on their own, Alana, unlike what you see with Ellis. Today we are very excited with Shiv, thinking we may have a possibility of seeing a crossing, and we are not giving up. So what should happen if you're going to change this position, if anything, is to either go to a left or go to a right and see if what I'm seeing is correct. And if that happens, then we still stand a very good chance of seeing a crossing. We are not in a rush. We're not going anywhere. The best thing is just to stay put where we are. You can see very close to that particular hippo. If you move slightly bit to the right, Shiv, you can see so many hippos there blowing the air out. Some of them just tossing, again a bit of buoyancy in the water. But like Elana was asking, not sure they're trying to mourn this particular hippo. It's just that's where they are, and that's where they belong. Well, we'll still wait and see what happens going forward. We are not in a rush. So Broma, we have moved about, I would say 3-5 kilometers, depending on how we got here. I would guess 3 to 5 kilometers from the first place we were in. I mean, it's very, very difficult in the Masai Mara to drive, on a straight line. You get 1 kilometer straight line, it's almost impossible. We'll have ditches, we'll have valleys, we'll have rocks, we'll have trees on the way. But a straight line, we would call it maybe 2 kilometers, but I think we've done 3 or 5 kilometers to get where we are now. Come on, zebras. I can see them from a long, long way. I can hear them also. But I think none of them want to commit at the moment. Patience is the key word for this afternoon here. Let's head out to Mabula and find out what the elephants could be doing.
I must agree with David. Patience has definitely been the key word for this afternoon's sunset safari, and patience is what we had. I'm sure some of you may have seen in the split what was going on. It was a bit of push and shove. And there were some noises, and it was a little bit not touch and go for a little while, but I was trying to figure out what it is that these elephants wanted. They were all basically staring at us, and it's not like they wanted to cross the road, because where we were is not where they crossed the road, but they nonetheless gave us a very, very cool sighting. We had 3 of the females basically just standing alongside the vehicle looking down at us, and then the big boy came and joined, and then they were kind of pushing each other around. Oh my goodness me. Now kill it, kill that tree. And when the big male arrived, then 2 of the females started, I call it trunking. And they basically just play with each other's trunks, and they push each other's heads, and not like what males do, where they try and get each other with their tusks. These 2, their trunks were intertwining. When you see a male and female doing this, it almost looks like a romantic gesture. And the vocals that came from it weren't aggressive vocals. These were, I don't even know how to describe these vocals. They're very calm, kind of calm trumpets. Yes, I have heard an elephant sneeze before. It's a whole lot of ears and trunks all over the place, but I've seen it happen twice. I'm sure, I'm 90% sure that it was a sneeze too, but yeah, like I said, only twice before, not often. And you would think that an elephant sneezes quite often, just because of the fact that they use their trunk for almost everything, especially when it comes to dust bathing. They'll gather up dust, throw it on themselves, and then, but they'll suck that dust up and then sometimes blow it onto themselves. And that, to me, I can't imagine sniffing dust and then trying to blow it all over myself. That, to me, I would think, cause a bit of irritation, and I think the byproduct of that would be sneezing. But no, the 2 sneezes. One was Balara down in Amakala, and then the second sneeze was one of the ellies I had seen in the Sabi Sand. It was a pretty big ellie. Probably shouldn't have laughed at him, but it was hilarious. What I haven't heard is an elephant cough. I've heard all sorts of animals cough before. I've heard an impala cough. That was actually quite funny to listen to. It was the beginning of winter last year in the Sabi Sands. Poor impala. Anyway, we're going to send you over to Sean, see what he's got for us.
Hello everybody, and the weather has gone south, an immediate U-turn south. However, what has happened is sorry guys, I'm just listening to this message. Sorry guys, give me a second. Copy that, no stress at all. Yeah, we'll stay here for a little bit. Sorry guys, just doing some administration here with the old Sabi guys. But yeah, the Ellies chased our lions out of the bush. They did a job for us, and so they are now lying on the airstrip, and we have old Passanwari and the rest of them that are just chilling here. And as you can hear, a little pitter-patter of rain. It is turning into a bit of a doom and gloom afternoon, except these lions have warmed things up a little bit. We've got a youngster who's busy playing with a stick. What are you doing with that? Well, it's interesting, lions normally don't like weather like this, but there's a small group of male elephant that just keep following these guys around.
Yeah, only I'm coloring this side.
Maureen, you're absolutely right. It's a full Catterday. Sunrise to sunset Catterday today, which is great. We just heard some calling to the left of us. I think it's that male that we had this morning. So they're all busy looking around, checking what Dad has to say. Check at them, check the youngsters. They're like, oh, I think Dad's in a bit of a bad mood. I don't know whether the box maybe just had a try scored against him and Dad's watching in the lounge now. He's moaning, oh no. But they seem quite happy in the rain, yeah? And it's really nice to spend time with these guys out in the open. This is kind of a luxurious lion sighting. Normally there's twigs in the way and grass in the way, and I think one day when I'm here in Sandringham and we have normal weather return again, and there's not a lot of grass around, it's going to be almost unrecognizable to me. I'm going to have to relearn some of the roads, because at the moment you'd swear it's towards the end of summer and we're already in winter. Hey, Passanwari, are you cold, boy? Got one of the Sabi vehicles. They, if you remember Mr. Wyndham the other day when we interviewed him, he was saying that some of the vehicles will be out just getting to know the area and getting to know the protocols. So they've joined the sighting here. Hillary, it is complete. It's what can I say? It's Murphy's Law. When he's out in the open like this, it's pouring with rain, and I can't really get photos. We are going to move forward slightly now. and I'll see whether I can't get a couple of shots of him. I did get a few this morning when we were with him. I got a very nice video of him, but it would be nice to, it's a pity that we don't have the sun, but you know, that's life. That's just how things go out here. Can't get everything you want, but yeah, I'm very, very excited. It's so, it's a privilege because there's just so few of them in the world, and it's just an absolute privilege to be able to spend time with a white lion. Honestly, just put that on your CV. I love it. Be interesting to see if that other male lion pops out. I just got to keep the radio on because I am running the lock at the moment. We're so used to not having comms in Sabi here, so Pam, yeah, they're very interesting. They've been through a lot, I think, with the history of this area, and just so many changes in terms of 3 big lodges being built. I stand to be corrected, but I'm almost sure that Mr. Wyndham said there's going to be 67 or 68 suites all in all. So there's been a lot of construction happening, and a lot of change for them, a lot of activity with vehicles coming in and out of the reserve, and a lot of change, but good change for them. You know, the more activity in this area that Sabi are bringing in, the more these lions will have a much better opportunity of having a secured area. And who knows what could happen in the future in terms of any fences dropping between the reserves to give them more space. It will change the dynamics, obviously, the lion dynamics, but you know, the goal is to give these animals more space and to try and give back a little bit of environment that us human beings have taken over for so long. So I really think this endeavor by Sabi is really next level. I think it's fantastic, and especially getting the local community involved. I think it's amazing. The lodge that we're staying at currently is also lots of community involvement there, and it's just so nice to see, get to know the area, and just so bubbly, and it's really cool. We're having a great time, hey? Except on Bobotie night, hey, Paul? Yeah, Roz, it is great to, because you know, we hadn't seen them for so long. So to see them coming out and to see them in good condition like this, it means a lot. As much as we can't interfere with the wild, sometimes you start to worry. You think, jeepers, where are these cats? What's going on? What's happening? And when they pop out of the bush, and they've got full tummies and happy faces, except for when the elephants chase them. It's a different story altogether. But we're going to move a little bit closer, try and see if we can see where that male is calling from. In the meantime, we hear that Sedders is out and about. We'll go over to him.
Thanks, Sean, and wow, we had proper rain. As you can see on top of this elephant's back, as well on the side, you can see the water that's all run down, and we had a proper downpour this side, but it looks like it's subsided, and now we are out and about once again, and we've got this beautiful elephant bull. Yeah, just to the western side of Chitwa airstrip, just busy milling around away here. He's got some takeaways, as you can see. He's taking away some kind of branch. He's enjoying that a little bit of a nibble there while he makes his way to another tree. Yeah, well, Bieber and myself got properly soaked. I had to pretty much get a whole new set of laundry sorted out for myself for this afternoon after the rain. The rest is all wet. It's always nice to see these elephants around. I think they're very happy, very chuffed with life, especially that all this rain, all the vegetation is looking so healthy. For this time of the year, I mean, we're on mid-June now, and you know, you can see some of the trees have still got some nice, beautiful, lush leaves around. There's still some nice green grasses around under the trees itself. So the elephants are very, very chuffed here, and there's also plenty of water. So not a difficult winter for these big mammals. And especially now we get midwinter rain, which is very strange. Oh, Lola, yeah, I still have a plan. We've still got 50 minutes left. So, yeah, still going to look around. Just very interesting things, a little bit of an update about leopards. So, a tortoise pan, a big male leopard, and Tiani, they have come quite far east. So, maybe tomorrow morning, the way they're going, they might end up on Jackie Sabia's property or Chitwa side. So, we will follow up on that. But they're on Hoffman's at the moment. But they're coming east. So interesting that. And as well as, yeah, nobody followed up on those alarm calls from the impalas. So we're going to head that side. Alright, well, we're going to head that side. Just quickly do a little bit of a follow-up on the female leopard tracks that we had in the Molawati. While we do that, I think let's head over to the Mara with Mr. David.
I would want to believe Cedric should just make up for Tristan, who is also, very good in finding leopards. Tristan, I think, took a break after the morning drive, and he really did what he could last night and this morning to get a leopard. Not sure he did get one, and Cedric should come into that gap and get a leopard or a leopardess for us. Now, I'm still by the river, I'm still by the Mara River. I have not given up on seeing crossing. We have seen, for me as far as I'm concerned, one of the best crossings you'll ever see from elephants. And unlike the zebras and the wildebeest that have a particular time of the year, will always come and chance the crossings, elephants will cross all around the year. Now, Leona, I hope you are still watching, and you got a crocodile there, and I want to pull something back that I'm not sure I got it right. And you had a question to me, where do crocodiles mate? And I told you both in water and on land. But I just found out, crocs will mate exclusively in water and not on land, just like the hippos. And I think they have all reasons to mate in water and not on land, because a lot of courtship that you'd imagine going on between the crocs, between the males and the females, they are all done in the water. And you'll see, unlike say birds like ostriches, where you get both males and females being involved in the courtship dance, it's more the males, the croc, like maybe what you're seeing there, if it's a male, it's always more the males that will always do anything possible to excite the females with small little dances in the water, slapping inside the water. And what would happen is you'll get, sorry, we got a vehicle just passing there, and that's all right. Keep going. So Leona, my apologies there, but the thing is, the crocs will always mate exclusively in the water. Now, let's have one more look at Sandringham on the white male lion.
So we have repositioned, and we've got a bit of a better view here of the lions. They are slowly starting to get up and move, I think, but it's nice to have a view of Pasanwari here. And we were talking this morning, guys, about how much he stands out, and you can actually really see it quite nicely here. Even in this very low light, if you see these other lions are kind of fading away a little bit, but he stands out like a sore thumb. And so it just illustrates what I was saying this morning. Are you getting a bath, boy? Are you a bit smelly after yesterday's meal? He's happy. Oh, listen to the lions. So that's not a territorial call or anything like that. That's just it's a chat to the pride. Wild at heart, that's an interesting question. I think, let me have a look. 1, 2, about 3, I think. They look very similar in age. He is a big boy, I have to say. He's quite large, and which will obviously serve him well, but he's quite big. But I would say there's about 3 similar age, eh? It's a person worry that, can you see? I think so. Paul and I are going to stick with the number 3.
Yeah, Sean, I'm going to shire this lock. I'll go the other way around. Thank you.
Sorry guys, just doing the admin, yeah? No worries whatsoever. Enjoy your evening. Oh boy. What are the plans for Saturday evening, guys? What are you gonna do? Just gonna chill on the airstrip? What do you reckon? You went out for a nice meal last night, so what are you gonna do? Maybe stay in, Netflix and chill? Wonder what these guys are gonna get up to this evening. At the moment I think they're fairly undecided. And as I was saying with the with that call from the male, that was more of a call to the pride itself. Let me just turn this down a little bit. Oh, hello boy. Hello. Love that face. With that pink nose. Aren't they just amazing? Oh, there he goes again. Oh, Queenie, I'm the one that's more excited about that. Yeah, it was kind of a goal of mine. And it was disappointing when I was at Chitwa, just the dynamics of after all the rains and the fact that the Nzenga boys pretty much stayed on the property for the full 2 weeks that I was there. Our leopard sightings were not great. So I didn't get to meet, I got to meet Kichava and the Nottens male, but the rest of them, sadly, I didn't get to meet all of them. But I do have my suspicions that I think Cedric just has this communication thing with them. When he's on leave, they go on leave. That's what I feel like happens, because he just has this thing with these leopards. It's quite incredible. But so I'm hoping that I get another stint at Chitwa at some stage to meet up with those leopards there. But this, I think, is in its own way more of a special thing, because to see white lions in the wild is really a phenomenal thing. And I've got movement further up the airstrip that looks quite interesting. I just want to get my binoculars out. See, these lions are sniffing something. I'm just looking through my binoculars, guys. Hey, what is going on with these things? Oh, okay. I think there are other lions around. I can hear something on to the east of us. These lions have heard it as well. Oh, here we go. So I think there is another, I think he's calling his brother. I think they've got wind of another, because the wind is blowing from the east, so I think they've picked up a smell of other lions. So we'll just hang here a little bit and see whether they come out, maybe have a little meeting. See the females trying to figure out what's going on. Kiara, she's huge. She's absolutely massive, and at the moment seems to be the one carrying... Oh, just give me a second. Oh. Maybe give her a second. I thought the other lion was going to start roaring again. Yeah, she's kind of carrying the pride at the moment. She probably was a big part of that zebra being taken down. Hello, girl. She's busy sniffing here. Here comes our friend. Hello, boy. What can you smell? Just listening quietly here to... Just going to move out of the way here. See, they're starting to move off now. Oh, these lions are playing here now. So they're going to go off and try and figure out who's who in the zoo, yeah? I think uncle / dad is around. We were looking for other lions. There's a lion walking right behind Mpo here. Right behind him. He's right here by the car. So the youngsters are lagging behind as usual. Hello. You guys lagging behind a bit. Better hurry or Dad will shout at you. So guys, we'll try to stay with these guys for a little bit longer, but they are starting to move off. Hello. He's got a feather in his mouth. What a weirdo. In the meantime, we are going to head over to Eric and see what's going on that side.
We've left our elephants. They decided they were going to do their own thing, and that was fine. We left them be. And there was another guy that was there also left. I think they're going up the mountain. They're going to decide to go up the mountain, or they could go to TPA Dam, and they go and drink a little bit of water. I don't know if they've had a bit of water today yet. Anyway, we are out here by the rain meter plain. So this is where they were. This open area like this, who would have thought? but there's lots of nice sickle bush for them here. There's sweet thorn, there's some large fruited bush willow. Today was the first time I think I've ever seen an elephant feeding on large fruited bush willow, because most of the time we see them, they walk straight past them, probably because there's other stuff that's maybe a little bit more tastier, or maybe some other stuff that they would prefer to eat before they touch the large fruited bush willow. No, they basically absolutely they beat up that poor bush. Now we're on the lookout for anything nocturnal. Perfect Aardwolf weather, little windy. It is cold. I don't think the cold is not the cold is the only part that's not the perfect part, but the windy part. For some reason, Aardwolf come out in the wind, no problem. Or at least the ones in Amakala do. So we are looking for our friend Ardy. Hopefully we'll be able to perhaps maybe see him. I guess we shall see. It only helps to look. So we're going to do a couple of these planes. We'll go from here, then we'll do regional planes. Then we'll go. We might even go down to Champagne Breakfast and see. Have seen one. I think the last one I saw was at Champagne Breakfast. And it is starting to get a little bit dark now. And it's going to get darker a little bit quicker today because of all these clouds. The darkest clouds are also on the western horizon. Timothy, I think they do, because we see the rhinos rolling in mud fairly often, and that's also to help with the cooling down and protection of their skin. So I think they enjoy it just as much as the elephants do, but I think elephants take the cake when it comes in. We don't really see rhinos swimming the same way that elephants do, but I think the reason why is also because white rhinos don't have the ability to lift their heads so far up. The elephant uses its trunk as a snorkel. Black rhinos might enjoy a bit of the swing, but we're going to send you to watch the second part of the rhino relocation.
Well, everyone, it is day 3. We are out here this morning and have come to where the rhinos basically slept last night, where the trucks have been parked.
So last night we had a good one here at the stop station. Most of the animals were nice and calm. We obviously have quite a lot of movement in the night as they're just trying to make themselves comfortable. I always like to sleep next to the rhinos just to make sure there's not any problems with them overnight. We can have rhinos that go upside down in the crates, or if they have issues with the drugs wearing off, so it's always good to just stay there and make sure everything's okay.
The drive went really well. We did our first stop probably about an hour and a half in. All the rhinos were relaxed.
Look at this! We found wild dogs. They just come stumbling across. I saw these things running. I was like, what is that? It's wild dogs. And we were looking for them this morning. These guys. Where are you guys going? What's the plan here? They definitely look like they want hunts. We're going to follow them as much as we possibly can in the dark. I don't know how well it's going to work for us, but doggies! You can see the smaller ones, the slightly younger pups. Well, they're now older pups. I don't know if we can call them pups anymore. They're big. But what a lovely surprise. What a way to end a lovely afternoon. They've basically come from the direction that I thought that they were at earlier this morning. And I saw their tracks. I know I saw their tracks. And then someone saw them earlier today. Earlier this afternoon, and I think they lost them. But this is also kind of like slow movement for wild dogs. They usually cover ground pretty quickly, but this is how they cover the ground so quickly. The way that this particular trot, you can now see the size difference. There's one in the very front there who is big, and then one really quite small next to it, and then the others are quite young behind. But let's follow. Who knows how long we're going to be able to stick with them. Like I was saying, following wild dogs is a task. It's a task. I do apologize for cutting the second half of the rhino relocation in half, but we didn't know how long we're going to have our dogs for. With the naked eye, it's difficult to see them. Yes, Joyce, the doggy dogs. The doggy dogs are here. Where are you guys? Ah, the long grass. The only place we might be able to meet them is if we enter suburb. There's no roads that go that way. Do you see them? Alright. Vanished. There's only one other place where we can look for them. It's not ideal, but it's the only place I think where we might also get them is potentially close to the grens line. So it's quite a long road, but also they do cover the ground quickly. If they don't come here, then they'll probably go across to the open plains, in which case there are impala and blesbok there that we did see that are in trouble. They will be in trouble. So when those dogs see them, they're just going to run at them. Move here, Drongo. Sorry, Drongo. No, don't land on the road, Drongo. My apologies. This is a very long road. No, man, it does look like they're on a proper mission. We may have to turn around and come back, because this road, I thought it was a little bit shorter than what it actually is. Not really. Might be a difficult task trying to keep up with them in here, because one, long grass, two, lots of, it's very, very thick here. Let me turn around here quickly. I don't think they've come this far so fast. I mean, they're quick. They cover ground very quickly, but not that quickly. Wee wee. But just in the nick of time as well. Literally just in the nick of time. It's almost time to start turning lights on and to bring the spotlight out. Alright. We'll drive down here and then we'll kind of just wait along a little path that they may potentially use to head in that direction. We'll wait there for two or so minutes. If they don't, then we will wait, or then we'll turn around and come back this way. So they are very successful when it comes to hunting. They're definitely more successful than leopards, lions and cheetah. I can't actually remember their success rate, but it's pretty high. It's up there with the African wild cat and your black-footed cats. It's funny how the smaller the cats are, the more successful they are in terms of hunting. I don't want to come past this corner too quickly. So they may be even on this road coming this way. Who knows? But the nice thing is now there's also lots of birds around in this particular area that might also help with the whole pointing them out to us. They'll make a bit of noise. Let's listen for a little bit. Maybe we might even be able to hear the birds. No birds. So we continue. So we'll go back to the open. Look left, look right. Left, right. And then we'll see. Did you guys come past here? You didn't come past here. Did you come past? No. Right, back up the road we go. As quickly as we saw them, they done disappeared. Say again? Yeah, it's the nature of wild dogs. Wow, we're going to send you back over to the second half of the rhino relocation while we try and figure out if we can find our dogs again.
Well everyone, it is day 3. We are out here this morning and have come to where the rhinos basically slept last night, where the trucks have been parked.
So last night we had a good one here at the stop station. Most of the animals were nice and calm. We obviously have quite a lot of movement in the night as they're just trying to make themselves comfortable. I always like to sleep next to the rhinos just to make sure there's not any problems with them overnight. We can have rhinos that go upside down in the crates, or if they have issues with the drugs wearing off, so it's always good to just stay there and make sure everything's okay.
The drive went really well. We did our first stop probably about an hour and a half in. All the rhinos were relaxed. We got here close on 11 last night.
We've had a very interesting few days on the reserve while we were capturing, and they had around about 75 mils of rain in the last 2 days, so that's changed a little bit for us in that we are limited in terms of vehicles that we can take, heavy vehicles, into the site where we want to release them. So we quickly got together and we decided we want to do the bulls and the cows without calves, big sub-adults. We're quite happy to release onto the reserve immediately.
It's a couple more hours work and then these rhino are where they need to be, which is very exciting.
Here at the boma and waiting the offloading of the rhinos to be done into the holding facility, and it's essentially for the moms and the calves to reunite.
And what's important for us is to keep the cows and calves together. We want them to bond first in the boma.
Just in case they do break out, that they actually go together then and the calf is looked after.
The moment they've met up, we can open up.
think what was so special about that moment is that yesterday we were walking that calf and its mom, and to see them today released into the boma, it's a full circle moment in a lot of ways.
Yeah, job done. What a phenomenal couple of days. I mean, this is probably the pinnacle of the work we do, you know.
Yeah, it's gone fantastic. No, very happy. They're all looking amazing, and I mean, the cows and calves look really happy. They're all together.
Well, it's really the final phase in the release. We did a hard release this morning with the individuals. Now we've got 5 cows with their calves, young calves with them, and they're peaceful in the boma. They've settled down, they're all together, so we're going to go and slowly open the gates and let them go out by themselves on their own time, fully rewilded.
Well, the gates have been opened, and now it's up to the rhinos to decide exactly when they're going to walk through onto the open reserve, and we're looking forward to having them be out and free and wild where they belong. Yesterday we opened the boma gates and left it to the rhinos to make their way out onto the reserve, and indeed after going past there this morning there are no more rhinos in the boma. So our plan for today is to head off into Mabula and see if we can catch up with any of them. Wow, well, what an incredible few days it has been following the story of these 24 rhinos. Seeing an operation at this scale is a powerful reminder of what can be accomplished when people come together with a common purpose. From understanding the critical role that projects like this play in securing the future of white rhinos, to peeking behind the curtain of conservation to see the dedication, passion, commitment, at times perseverance, and sacrifice that is made from those on the ground has been nothing short of inspiring. If you would like to contribute to conservation efforts like these, please consider donating.
Now this team's unbelievable.
Well, we found our dogs, and I give a viewer discretion because there is an animal that has been absolutely obliterated by these dogs. It sounds like there's another sighting of wild dogs, so it seems like the pack is split, and these ones are feeding on wild dog here, well, feeding on an impala here. Sneaky, eh? Very sneaky. There you can see some of the faces. Very pretty dogs. Very, very pretty dogs. I've said it many times before, but the wild dogs here at Mabula, I think, are some of the prettiest wild dogs I've ever seen. Bearing in mind that's not lots. I've seen maybe three or four different packs in the Sabi Sand, and that's the only place where I have seen wild dogs. But no, these ones are definitely a little bit more pretty. I don't know what it is. There's definitely more white than just on the tail with these ones. Gorgeous. And our light is fading very, very much, so we do apologize for the quality, but at least we managed to get them again. And we just missed it. We missed it by like, how long? I don't know. They must have chased this thing to the fence, because we are sitting on the fence line. And there's a couple of places, a couple of places where predators will use the fence line to their advantage. And I think wild dogs are highly intelligent creatures, so I think that's what they've done. Oh, lovely to hear the sounds. It's very quiet. Very, very quiet. I was expecting to hear more, but not so much. Look at this adult looking us down, not staring us down. It's actually looking in front of us. It's like they're standing guard, because wild dogs definitely mobbed by hyenas. So if a hyena comes here, these wild dogs are gonna try and chase it away. The two cheetah boys were mobbed the other day by hyenas, well, I don't know if it was hyenas, but I know a hyena. Sure. They finished it very quickly. There's not really much left. Oh, whatever. I think it was an impala. Anyway, we're going to send you over to Cedric and see what he's up to.
Thanks so much, Eric. No, look, I think Eric had a fantastic afternoon, some good sightings outside, but unfortunately, this side, because of the rain, we couldn't get out really much, and no luck on anything at this point in time. But on top of that, I had a fantastic meet the leopards. I mean, I just came back from a little private tour here at Jackie's Sabi house, and I had our leopard crew all on board, and we got to see nice ones. We got to see Mazemba, that male leopard. That was nice. Got to see Watika, see Kachava. So yeah, it has been absolutely marvelous. Some lions, wild dogs. Yeah, and it was a very, very good group. So I had four guests from the UK. The one guy's a Yorkshire, very English. I even struggled to understand what he was saying sometimes. And then we had a lovely lady from Japan, and well, she couldn't speak English, and she didn't really understand English. Now, when of course our Yorkshire man was chatting to us, it was just more like smile and wave, and laugh now and again when he laughs, but we're not understanding what he's saying. But it was fun. It was absolute so much fun. I think it was a good tour. That hopefully they'll all travel safely back to their destinations. And while I'm still around here, and I'm in search of more rosettes or any nocturnal critter, and that is maybe some bush babies, maybe a genet somewhere around here, a porcupine. Got to take a look. You right there, Bebo? I'm good. Alright, fantastic. I don't know if maybe my earpiece is broken. I don't hear anything coming through, but yeah, might be my earpiece. Just let me know if you hear anything. Thanks, Bebo. Alright, let's look around here. Coming up towards Chitwa Driveway.
What's your most difficult situation you've had with your guest from Animal Lover?
Animal, thank you. So my earpiece is not working. And from Animal Love, my most difficult situation I've had from a guest. Actually, you know, it was one of the difficult ones now with Shame, this Japanese lady. I mean, you know, she's all by herself coming this side, and now, you know, you want her to be part of, you know, the crew. You want to be part of the, you know, the Meet the Leopards crew there. And unfortunately, yeah, she didn't understand English, but we made her so welcome. Eventually, she enjoyed it. She was just laughing at, I don't know what, but I think she also caught on that she just needs to laugh and it'll be fine. so yeah, no, that was one of those ones. That was fantastic. Absolutely a fantastic trip. It was nice to see the wild dogs as well. Got to see some lovely wild dogs. Got to see a pack of four doggy dogs. Oh, melanistic marble. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words here. Yes, so definitely she loves wildlife. I mean, she's like on her bag. She's got these key rings, and with all different leopards on a key ring. She loves it. She's got this little hand, like kind of cloth. It's very pink, but there's a leopard as well on it, and so she loves her wildlife. She absolutely loves it. She's actually going to go now to Brazil. She's going to go and to take a look for the Black Panther and see if she can find all that. Actually, the jaguars outside. So she's looking forward to that. She's well traveled. That's one thing. She's well traveled. She knows what's, you know, the places she's been to is, oh, but yeah, a lovely lady. I wonder where's Rulani. Oh, I've been searching for Rulani quite a bit over the last, say, 2 weeks, and nothing. Erin, I'm not too sure about Kuchava. I don't think she's mated yet. I'm not too sure. All I know, Jackie Sabi asked while we were having dinner the one night, as well as one morning, we had her calling quite a bit, rasping around there, like really looking for a mate. So I'm not too sure if she's found a mate. All I know that is Tortoise Pan is with Tiani. So maybe we'll have Tiani and Kuchava together there. Never know. But yeah, this Rulani's just been missing. That's the one I'm worried about. I think Rulani, that young leopardess, has gone south into Mala Mala. I think she's stuck to Mala Mala side. Yeah, I tell you, I think so. I think she's staying away from this side at the moment, while her mom is very active with calling and looking for a mate. So very possible. But it's also a very big area, so I mean, she might be around here somewhere. But I've got a feeling she's in Mala Mala. Hopefully this rain stays away. A few drops are coming back again. Ooh. Oh, there's an owl right above us. There's an owl above us. It just flew into the tree. You got it there. There, up there. Looks like a spotted eagle owl. Yeah. How beautiful is that? Owl. Beautiful is that? A spotted eagle owl. It was sitting right here next to the road, and it came perfectly up here in the tree for us. One of our more common owls that we do have around this side. Looking for all this mice, and I mean, I've seen about 3 or 4 mice now driving back this side. And Linda Polly, yes, you love your owls, and here we go. Lovely owl for the evening, for a Saturday evening. So shaking its head, I think this is all nice and wet. You can see right on top of its head. Oh, the little feathers is all stuck together. As it got a little bit drenched this afternoon. Beautiful little stripes or bards, and it's running across the chest area and the tummy area. Miley, you said, did I hear it before I spotted it? Oh, Miley, I heard it snoring. No, I'm just joking. Now I saw it flying from the ground upwards. It was sitting on the ground, yeah. Maybe it was looking for a mouse that was running around on the road. Yeah, you can see I think it came actually from the grass. Janine, the owl's also shaking his head at your comment there. Having a hoot. Yep. Yeah. See, maybe these owls might be feasting properly this evening. Alright everybody, well, we are coming to the end of our sunset safari on this lovely Saturday afternoon. I think let's head over to Eric as he wants to pretty much wrap up the show.
In the last sort of few moments of the sunset safari, the sun has definitely set here, but what an eventful sunset safari it has been here in Mabula. Wow. Came here looking for nocturnal animals, and instead we found diurnal animals and a pack of them. Still trying to kind of understand what the story is with them and them splitting up. Rather interesting, but I mean, with such a large number of them, one would expect it to happen at some stage. But I wonder who's with who, because there were a lot of small ones there. Obviously, we saw the big adult in front. Very cool. Man, thank you for joining us on our lovely drive. We hope that you enjoyed it, and we hope that you will join us again as we embark on the next drive, which will be tomorrow morning. Still looking for more wildlife. Yeah, it's never too late. See some bush babies now. Perfect place to see them. What is that? We've got to search in the trees though. We do need to search in the trees in order to see these little guys. And you got to be quick because they bounce from this tree to that tree, and then they're across the road, and it's actually crazy how far they can jump as well. Almost like flying squirrels, but not quite. Not quite, but similar. We hope that you all enjoyed the sunset safari as much as we enjoyed being out here. We really hope that you will join us tomorrow morning as we embark on our sunrise safari at 6:30 CAT. And we hope that you enjoy the rest of your lovely Saturday evening, and that you're having a great weekend thus far. But from us all here at Wilder, thank you very much, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye.